This is a review of the CurRex RunPro Insoles. I'm trying to figure out what insoles to use for the Bridger Ridge Run, rugged, rocky trail run. And I've tried the CurRex insoles, and they just don't work. The problem with them is that the surface is very slippery, and so your foot tends to slide around on them. These things really would only work for road running, in my opinion. But one thing about them is they have this cool little tiny lightweight arch or orthotic. And so what I did is I removed this from one pair. I had both the medium and the high profile of these insoles, and I couldn't see any difference between the medium and the high. If there's a difference, it's very subtle. So that little plastic arch support just peels right off. It's just glued on. And I first tried them on these insoles that came out of a mountain biking shoe, Shimano. And I've used these insoles before on the Ridge Run, and they're pretty good because they have a pretty grippy surface. For comparison, the most grippy, roughest surface was the Nike Trail. They actually got this right. It's almost so rough that it's almost irritating. So what it does is it locks your sock down, but then your foot tends to slide a little bit inside the sock. So you kind of want to have a balance. You want a little, the sock choice is important too. You don't want a real slippery sock, and you don't want a real rough, irritating sock. And so you got to experiment to see what insole surface and what sock works good for the terrain you're running. So what I've come up with is I removed that little arch support and I put it on these Norda insoles. And the Norda insole is pretty grippy, way grippier than this. This is just smooth and slippery. And I like these Norda insoles. They're nice and thick and cushy. And I just taped the arch support from the CurRex insole onto that. And that's been working pretty good. This insole is kind of worn out. I tried it on these, but it just wasn't that comfortable. This is almost too rough, too grippy. And in comparison, here's some other arches or orthotic type insoles. These have, instead of using roughness, it's actually the material that's pretty grippy. This is almost kind of a rubbery, grippy thing. But this insole is almost overkill with the arch support, and they tend to, your feet get kind of tired in them after a time. And here's a standard orthotic also, and I've used these, very supportive but heavy and kind of rigid, kind of overkill. So I would not recommend the CurRex RunPro insoles for trail running. They just didn't work for me. Too slippery. But I really like their lightweight, minimalist arch support orthotic device, and you can easily remove it and just tape it on the bottom of a different insole, which is what I'm doing. And God, that works really well. So that's my story with insoles.